Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Life, Love, Marriage, Divorce Conversations. I am Monique Davis Dotson with Tina Jones, Bree Henderson, and Kim Porche. Welcome to the show. Hello, ladies. What y'all do for Easter?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. I ended up spending Saturday going ahead and doing series of tournaments. So when I got home Sunday, I watched church in bed, took communion in bed, ordered food, and slept.
Yeah.
But it was a peaceful Easter for me. And like I said, I was still able to receive the word, receive communion, and it was a blessed day for me.
Awesome. Awesome. What about you, Kim? How was your Easter?
I had an amazing Easter. Um, it was really good. It was relaxing. It was probably my first Easter, even though my kids are older. Um, Believe it or not, they were very disappointed that they didn't get Easter baskets this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I felt so bad that I didn't, but I ran out and got some stuff yesterday and got them good sales. So I'm gonna make them up a Easter basket after Easter weekend. But I
That's
had
all right.
great. It was good. I didn't have to cook. I was invited to a dinner, so it was very nice and relaxing.
Oh, that's good. I didn't make Easter baskets for my kids this year, which is crazy. This was the first year. Even my ex, he came over for Easter and he's like, "Where are y'all's Easter basket?" And I'm like, I didn't make it this year. Stop it. But we had a good Easter, went to church. Praise the Lord. It's been a year.
Mhm.
So it was nice. All the kids are home. And so it was really nice. And in the church service we chose to go to, they had outdoor. So they had a big stage in the parking lot. And so it was still where you could watch online or you can come in person. So it was nice. So we had communion. It was really nice. So we had a pretty good Easter. What about you, Tina Jones?
Woke up, watched Bedside Baptist. Got up and went to the store, got all my Easter basket stuff, made Easter baskets for the kids, the big kids. And what else? Didn't do anything. Watched Coming to America, that horrible show. And then
Oh my gosh, I loved it. I
that
thought it
was
was
it. I ordered a pizza.
Oh my
That
God.
was it.
That was
we with your basket with your business, we should have all placed an order, Easter
I
basket
know,
order,
right?
and you could have
yeah, we
picked it
should have placed
up.
an order because I wouldn't
I
even.
was late too. I was really late. And what I found out that no stores were open. All the stores
Oh,
were
all the
closed. I
stores
was
are
like,
open
it's
in Orlando.
Easter.
Nothing closes.
Yeah, it was closed. So I was store to store, store to store, but I got it taken care of. So they got it.
Well, that's good.
But
That
that's it.
the
Just
most important thing, we were just able to honor our Lord and Savior in whichever way, we celebrated, be it Bedside Baptist, be it at church, be it, wherever. We all know and that Jesus was resurrected on the third day. And so that's what it was all about. All right, let's just dive into y'all see it? So I told y'all the Baylor Bears won the NCAA
Yeah.
basketball championships last night, and it was amazing. They beat the Zags. Tina said that the Gonzaga was
well,
going on.
actually, you really said the Cougs. So
No, no, no,
hmm,
no, no.
no, yeah,
I
yes,
said,
you
stand
said the
corrected.
Cougs.
Go back to the video. On my
Mhm.
bracket, I said Baylor would win the whole thing from the beginning.
I didn't see
Now,
that bracket. I didn't see that.
let me find my little
I
bracket.
didn't see that.
I'm telling you. Now,
Find it.
I said that Baylor was going to win the whole thing, right? However, with Baylor and U of H playing, I wanted it to be a competitive game. I felt that Baylor had the better team against the University of Houston, but I didn't want them to get blown out the way that they did. But I felt Baylor had it all. They had everything. They had a good bench. They had everything, and it was their time. And I'm really happy for them. They did great.
No, it was good. No, I'm happy for them too. They did. At first I thought I was watching a football team because the way they came out,
They came
I
out.
was like, what am I watching? Are they were like bullies. But hey, it is what it is when
They
you're in
were
the
on fire. They
championship.
started like 9-0, shooting three.
Exactly. Before they even got 1 point. So I was like, that's why I was like, this is a football game because they were just bullied. They were just moving and shaking. I was like, oh.
It was.
So yeah.
However, I will say this, and so it was great, for the state of Texas to have two teams in the Final Four, and then one would, because either way, I was like, either way, somebody from Texas is going to represent. You know what I'm saying? So that was great for the state. However, that Gonzaga game and UCLA,
Hey.
woo!
Look, that was a championship game for me.
That
Yeah,
was
it was powerful.
That
Yeah.
3 at the end was like crazy.
Crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah. Also, with the women, our women, we had Arizona. I know, right? You had Arizona and Stanford.
Yeah,
That was
That was great.
that was really good
Good
too.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arizona. That I was cheering for Arizona.
I was cheering for Stanford.
You were cheering for
I
Stanford.
was
Oh
cheering
yeah.
for Stanford, but that dad for Arizona, that the number 2, she was awesome. But her
Awesome.
dad was like he was going in.
Yeah.
I mean, he went down and prayed about that thing. If she
Yeah.
just, I think if she had just passed the ball,
Yeah.
maybe
I was
it just,
thinking the same thing. Why
if
she
she
didn't
just
pass?
passed it, and it was a clear opening for her to just pass it
Just
and
pass it.
have
Yeah.
someone else make a shot.
Yeah.
So just watching Good Morning America, someone asked the coach, Stanford's coach, what should the girls do once they got back into the game? And she said, simple, just guard Arian. That's
Wow.
all.
Wow.
And
Wow.
She was an awesome player, though. I mean,
did.
she fought.
Yeah.
She fought
Did.
to she fought to the very end.
With
It was
her,
an awesome.
I agree. It was just seeing somebody with that kind of heart and
Yes.
tenacity. You got to cheer for him, and that's kind of how I felt. However, congratulations to Stanford women's basketball. We are so proud of you guys, just representing the ladies and going out and doing your thing. So, congrats to you guys. They have a good team. Y'all got a good team.
Yeah.
Forget about the volleyball MEAC, North
Yes,
Carolina A&T.
speak it.
My baby 23. You pulled it out. I was so excited. And your heart does go out. They played Coppin State. Your heart goes out to players that just don't make it. And I saw the disappointment in Arizona. I saw it in their faces. And my daughter, before the game, she was just like, I just don't know what I will do if we don't make it. And so your heart goes out to all the kids that are playing. With our kids playing sports, it's like we want to win, but we don't want to see the other team lose either, because they all played with such heart. So congratulations to all the winning teams and all the teams that fought a good fight too.
Right. And so, Kim, tell everybody what team Mal plays for so we can all tune in and support her.
North Carolina A&T. We're headed to Nebraska. Can't wait. Next week, Wednesday morning, they'll play.
Yes, we're excited about women's volleyball. Normally the season is over, but because of COVID, they went ahead and extended it into April for the women's volleyball championship. And that's going to be some good volleyball. I can't wait to watch it next week. So good luck to you, Mel. We're cheering for you. We're cheering for you.
Congratulations to your daughter, Bree, too. Your daughter won too.
Yeah, they won the Top Gun championship on Saturday. 5 rigorous games, 38-degree temperatures, and they pulled it out. So it was amazing. It was a wonderful trip, and just to see the girls come together and just inspiring each other and showing each other that they can get it done. So it's a new platform that we will build off of. And they brought the ring home. So
Ring.
That's
Got a ring.
wonderful. Yeah.
and I love it.
And Monique.
Yes, I was about to say I love this because we're talking about our girls, you know, in sports. My daughter India is a double athlete. You know, she does soccer and she does track. And so as a freshman, she made high school varsity track and she's in moving on to, they did district. She placed in the 200 as well as the long jump. And she has advanced to the area meet, which starts next week. So wishing this little freshman good luck. I'm very proud of her. Yeah, and then also my god baby Tina's baby just had a volleyball tournament, a big volleyball tournament, right, T?
Just had a big tournament in San Antonio, and first game, she went out there, got hurt, ankle injury.
Wow.
So she missed the 3 games after that. So the next day, we were Motrin, tears, crying, you know, Motrin, ice, everything. And she went out there the next day, mind over matter,
Got
and
it
was
done.
balling,
Yeah,
balling, played 4 games straight in a row.
That's it.
that's awesome.
My daughter,
Yep, there you go. There
my
you go.
daughter.
We want to acknowledge. Look, we acknowledging everybody else on Baylor and Stanford. We got to acknowledge our own. So we're proud of our girls. And hey, y'all keep doing that great work and representing and reaching your goals because you definitely can. So ladies, did y'all hear about Lisa Ray kind of siding with the guy? Last week we spoke about Letterman, a radio show host out of Buffalo, New York, that made the comments about the shades of burnt toast that he prefers and he doesn't prefer, comparing it to our 3 Black female celebrities. It was Gayle King, Halle Berry, and Serena Williams, right? Well, I think Lisa Ray has a show and she was speaking about this. I guess this was a topic on their show, and she didn't understand what the big deal was about. What y'all have to say about that? Tina Jones?
Well, I think it's a big deal, but that's just me. I just think, yeah, I think everybody has a preference what they want because I've talked to guys and they said that I'm sorry, Black guys that said that they would never date a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
They just That's just their preference. They prefer either white women or others. So my thing is just don't say it out loud. Don't say it on television or in front of people because, you know, that's just going to start something. So, and I understand. I think everybody really has a preference, to tell you the truth.
So
So,
you're saying
and
that,
I
you
don't,
know, her saying that she didn't understand what the big deal was is kind of like, okay, he has a right to say that. And it's not,
well, she does. She has the right to say whatever she wants to. She does. She has that right. Me, wouldn't have said it on television or I think I would have just kept it to myself because it starts something, you know, and it's hard to get out of it, even though, and I'm so you will be judged. You will be judged. And she is judged. She's judged right now.
Mhm.
But I mean, I kind of understand what she means. I don't agree with it, but I understand what she means, you
Okay,
know.
I feel you. What do you think, Bree?
Clearly he stated his opinion on what his preference is. I found that very derogatory, and the platform that he used was not a place where he should have expressed that. If they wanted to have dialogue with each other, then they could have done that when the mics were off, but he let it fly. In regards to Lisa Ray, her having a program, maybe that is her thought. You know, he has an opinion, and I agree with Tina. You know, everybody has a preference, but that should be kept private or within a small group of people that you're comfortable with. She has a TV show. Maybe she needed a dialogue to continue. Maybe that's what she wanted to be, a topic that they could expand upon. But we know our social history from years and years and years, how they have looked at the Black culture based on the color of people's skin, you know. I'm not comfortable with it, uh, being segregated in my own race, you know. Again, I hope that we grow and continue to grow, and that we are not looked at or objectified by the color of our skin, and just being appreciated as the women that we are, whatever color that we are. So
Mhm.
that's just my opinion.
What about you, Kim?
I actually agree with all of you. But it's still a level of respect. You don't have to say it out loud. Everyone has their own opinions of who they prefer. Um,
Right.
I just, you know, maybe again, like Bree said, she just needed dialogue and she just wanted to, to comment on it. Um, but people say things, they blurt things out, not really understanding the significance that it will impact on other people and how they feel. Just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I feel like this. Because she's getting dragged by, her comment or what have you. I just think that when she is in a way being sympathetic or understanding towards a radio show host who is objectifying women based on the color of their skin, I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially in our culture. And I think the reason that Lisa Ray is having this backlash is because she's a Black woman. And to know the challenges that some of us have by, oh, the lighter you are, the prettier you are. The darker you are, you're not as attractive or what have you. And regardless if this is this man's preference or what have you, he was saying it in a joking manner that was negative towards women who look like us.
Was it really joking though? I think he
Well,
was very
he was
serious.
laughing about it as we spoke about last week. It was, you
But
know,
I think he really meant what he
no,
said.
I agree with you. He meant what he said, but in the way that he was speaking about it, it was like, okay, I'm going to get in trouble for this, ha ha ha. But he's going to say it anyway, and that's not a joke for many women of color,
Right,
in
right,
my
right.
opinion.
Mhm.
And for her to say, okay, well, that's not a big deal. Maybe it's not a big deal for him to have a preference, okay. But in the manner that it was like, I'm going to compare shades of something that I eat to the color of a Black woman's skin tone. I- Some just don't feel right about that. And so I can understand why people have this opinion towards Lisa Ray for kind of siding with him. And maybe she needed it for a platform. I don't know. But as a Black woman, you have to be sympathetic to women who are challenged, who are judged by the color of the skin every day. You
What
know.
I found interesting about Lisa Ray is, Oprah does her gathering of all the powerful Black women in the industry. And Lisa Ray has taken photographs with these exact women that this guy was degrading. And Oprah's thing is about empowering each other. And Lisa Ray, the Halle Berry, um, Serena Williams, all of them were inclusive in Oprah's empowerment thing. And then for her to turn and they're calling each other sisters and sisterhoods. And you got to stand up for your sister. And she didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
That
you.
was disappointing to me.
I agree with that. But moving on, everybody has an opinion, right? It is what it is. But hey, I feel like this. All of our shades are absolutely beautiful. And to compare
Yes.
them to one to another is not what if we're sisters, we don't do that. And we stand against anybody who does that. none of us, as far as toast, I don't want to be compared to anybody's toast. Period. Moving on. Okay. Paul Pierce of the Boston Celtics, ESPN.
Hey, I need some shades for that one.
Fired for posting or going live on Instagram at some, gathering with female strippers and I don't even have the words. Like, what was wrong with Paul? I mean, I don't get it. I'm passing it. I'm passing the ball. Talk about it, Bree.
I mean, there could be a bunch of scenarios. I'm praying that maybe perhaps he was drugged or something like that, or whatever.
I pray he wasn't drugged.
I don't know. I mean, I'm speechless. I'm speechless, but the way that some of these things are coming out with these appetites that people have in these cell phones, like, it's dangerous. It's just dangerous. I pray for him. I pray for his family, his kids, more so than anything, because that action hurts so many people. I mean, his career, everything is at a loss. I mean, like, how do you go out like that? I'm speechless. I was hoping that maybe somebody imposed him in that video or something, but I just feel for his family. I can't even imagine the conversation.
Yeah,
I'm
in
speechless.
that conversation where you have to tell that you've been fired because of a Instagram post with strippers in the background, humping the ground, smoking weed. Can you imagine having that conversation? ESPN, you're fired. In Donald Trump's voice, you're fired.
They wasted no time. They
Not
wasted
no time.
You're out of here.
They're owned by Disney, so Disney plays.
Kim, what do you have to? What's your? I don't even know what to say. What do you have to say about
words to say it?
Kind of speechless, but it's humiliating. You said you hope he wasn't drugged, but I almost hope that maybe that was the fact, because I just cannot understand how you can compromise your whole career, your family, intentionally in doing something like that. That those things, if you are doing it, definitely should not. I mean, it was like he was holding the phone, recording himself.
Right.
I just don't see that being something that was intentional. Right. He looked like he was high. Yeah. I'm just basing it on,
what you saw. Yeah.
What I saw. He looked as if he wasn't right in the eyes.
Yeah. I was just saying that I hope he obviously looked impaired. Okay. Something was going on for him to make that decision that I'm about to post this woman humping the ground behind me like this is great. So he was definitely, he appeared impaired. I was just saying, I hope, and it can definitely happen, that he wouldn't put himself in a situation where somebody is actually drugging this. You know what I'm saying? Putting something.
But you don't know, though.
You don't know. It just like, yeah, and it very well possibly could be, because something, like you said, okay, you are a legend, right? You had this outstanding career in Boston and through the NBA, and you're working, you're an analyst, right? Kids, and you're gonna put all of that on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't.
All taken away in a matter of minutes. Like, so yes, he was definitely impaired. If he needs help, I don't know. We don't know what somebody.
What was his excuse? What was his excuse for after being fired and your whole family knowing, the whole world knowing what happened? Then you get on Twitter and then you're laughing about it.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if the whole, okay, well, I was drugged thing. I don't know that because there's no way I'm going to get uh, on Twitter and start laughing about it. And if anything, I'm going to put out some kind of statement about it
I agree.
of, what happened, why it happened, and I'm, apologize for what happened, and not just and
Maybe
then cut it
maybe
off.
he still hadn't come down.
He's still up there, right, Kim?
Yeah, I needed to come
Yeah,
comment tonight.
right, exactly.
Black coffee and just come on down.
What's so sad is you can imagine how many interviews he's done like this where the tables have been turned and somebody else that he's reporting on has done something like this, and now to be that person on the other side of that interview is pretty sad.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
pretty
this is what I do pray for. That if there is something going on in his life, that, sometimes many of us have to hit rock bottom or fall down before we awaken. If that's the case, we do hope that he gets help that he needs. Who knows? I don't know. But if that's the case, we hope that he find his way um, to that kind of help. I do pray for his family and his kids because that is a hard conversation. Everybody is, I just talked about Easter, so everybody can be restored because he rose. So that's all we can hope for. Looking back at what you know now, what kind of advice would you give family or friends who are having a hard time dealing with your separation and or divorce? Many times, family, friends, they love both parties and they have to, they feel like they need to choose one side and they don't know how, to handle the situation. I was talking, off camera a second ago. I was talking about Tina, and Tina's and her ex Sean. They would have these fabulous Fourth of July events. They would have this fabulous Christmas event where everybody, a pajama party that everybody would come to. And then, when the divorce happened, those things stopped. And rightfully so. That's very challenging. But family or friends kind of felt like, what do we do now? We love both of these people. We loved having that tradition. Sometimes Tina and I are together and we talk about our kids still talk about how we wish we could still have that special time and they looked forward to those memories. What do you do in that instance? How do you have these conversations? And so I pose that to you guys to say, what kind of advice could you give, family and or friends who feel kind of caught in the middle and they really don't know what to say or how to handle it because they're probably having their own kind of feelings as well. Um, I'll throw it to you, Tina Jones. What kind of advice can you give someone?
I just, the only advice I can give is just to be patient. Don't rush into anything. Um, I lost friends. I lost some of his friends, and I'm pretty sure he lost some of my friends. And that's hard because, like you said, that you do have to choose. And you know, who do you go to? Who you? I mean, I guess you really don't have to choose because you can have friendship with both parties. You really can. But as far as parties and events and stuff like that, I mean, I don't think it's a problem going to your ex's event. um I think it would be kind of hard, but you just have to realize that this is, it's just not the same in my case. In my case, it's just that when you go to a party at the ex's house, that if Sean is throwing a party and he is remarried and he is throwing a party, So you and your family, you attend. You just have to put in your head that this is just not the same party that I'm used to,
Mhm.
because it really isn't, you know. I remember when we were going through our divorce, I had to cut everything off. I was just like, there's no way I'm giving a Fourth of July party, a Christmas party, or whatever. I can't do it, you know. But he went ahead and he continued to do it. And just hearing from people or my friends, his friends, it just wasn't the same.
Mhm.
So the only advice I would give is just hold off for a little while. Let, you know, let the, you know, yeah, just let everything settle. And then if you want to start up and make your new traditions, you go ahead and do it that way. But just to keep doing it, it's just it's rough for everybody. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't know if you guys are understanding me, but
Mhm.
it's rough for everyone. And as far as the family is concerned, I know we were talking off camera about how the families, you know, do you choose? Do you go to, you know, the ex? Do you, you know, are you staying on your daughter's side? What do you do? In my case, you know, my parents, they loved Sean. They, you know, they're going to always love Sean. But at one point, they had to put their foot down because Sean got very disrespectful with me. And just watching that or hearing that as a parent, you know,
Can
you can't
change
do
your
that.
ways. You can
You
change
can't
ways.
do it. You can't do it. It was too hard. And so so, you know, but you know, my Sean apologized to my family, and now they have a better relationship. On the other hand, with Sean's family, I never had that type of relationship with his parents. So um, when Sean started to see someone else, it was, well, I'm going to that other person. We're going to take trips and we're going to do all this stuff before we even decided that we were going to get a divorce. So it was like, okay, well, you know, she's out, this other person's in, and this was my mother and father-in-law. So it was a little hard, you know, it was a little hard, but you know, with time, everything passes with time, gets a little bit easier. And you know, you think about it that that season of my life is over and God has brought me into something that's so incredible that you know a lot of people just don't even understand. So I'm thankful that I went through all the trials and tribulations that I went through because it really has made me a better person. So I'm really happy for it. But just be patient. Don't rush into anything. Just be patient. You know, it's going to happen. And I think I tell you guys this every single show. Be patient. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
No rush. No rush.
And that's good. It's good to continue to hear the words be patient because, you know, as we speak and people watch, somebody's going to get that word at the
Mhm.
right time. They can receive it and they can hear it.
But it's not always, it's hard to be patient.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard to be patient, but you just have to, you know, keep telling yourself that you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Right.
Because there's been plenty of times when I didn't think I was going to be fine. You know
Right.
I
that.
know. But
I'm
look
good.
at, but look
Yeah,
at, yeah.
look at me. Look at me.
Eventually you followed that advice.
I followed that advice.
and,
Yeah,
and sharing that with other people and family and friends is you're telling them also to be patient. That's the advice.
be patient. Exactly.
What about you, Bree? What advice could you give?
Um, I think that going through the divorce is painful enough, that loss. But then when you have all these friends that you've established for 25 years, the family, the friends, that's another loss that you have to grieve. Um, in my case, though, with the isolation, most of our friends were all friends that grew up with William and being here in Virginia. they were more inclined to be around us quite a bit. So I look at it as, they made a decision based on their loyalty and their friendship to William, and that was fine. Now, there's some relatives that are like, hey, Bree, we've known you for 25 years, you're family. So then you continue to have somewhat of a relationship with them. Divorce is lost, and that's part of the loss, the friends, the family bonds, and all of that.
So are you saying that because it's a part of it and it's just the loss, it's just basically, hey, we divorced the man, and so those friendships are now, severed, and they don't come back? I mean, what are you?
In my instance, they just decided that they felt like they had to take sides. It's a loyalty factor that is a part of who my ex is. You're going to be loyal to me. You can't be hers and my friend. Like I said, most of those friendships were established over years since high school and stuff.
Right, right.
They know right is right and wrong is wrong, but their loyalty to stand over there, I understand.
Yeah.
I don't hold them accountable. I forgive them. But in my place, I still hold a place in my heart for them because they've been a part of my family for 25 years, been a part of my kids' lives. Their kids have grown up with my kids. I find it difficult to let that go sometimes, but like Tina said, it's a process, it's patience, and sometimes God removes people out of your lives.
Mm-hmm.
I still have some slight connections with them, some relationships that's high by. Our kids are still connected and stuff like that. I still love them.
Right.
As a Christian, I still love them, and they made their choice as to where they wanted to be. But now what it's also made me realize is that I need my own group of friends, my own support system. And that's what I'm doing now.
I mentioned before, with my family, they love Santana. I mean, his family, they love me too. And there was a bit of an adjustment phase in our relationship. We do our family gatherings, but for a year we could not, as we were adjusting to this new role of being divorced and having to manage our emotions and our feelings coming out of that. The beauty of it is that my family stayed neutral, and not that they didn't love me, and my mom, my family was on my side as far as, didn't want me to be hurt or go through that pain, but they still remained neutral, meaning they didn't hate Santana. They still knew that there were children involved, and eventually these two are going to get it together. So they took a more mature approach, and I think it was based on their own relationships that they had been in prior to, and knowing that things change, people forgive one another. These two are going to have to be in one another's lives forever. Let them figure it out, and then we'll gather again because we've walked this walk. My advice is refrain from um, getting so involved and entangled, because what I do know is this: those two individuals will come together. They have to in time. It's kind of like what Tina says all the time: be patient. They're going to figure it out. I've been witness to each of your situations, and eventually you have come into some kind of co-parenting or some kind of ability to be cordial or some kind of way where you are in that ex, no matter the hurt, the pain, or whatever, you found your way back. And that happens because you have children. So if you are that family member or friend who's pointing fingers or, being messy and gossipy about these two individuals who are human beings trying to figure it out, you're only going to harm yourself and being a part of that group. as they unite. So my advice is to try to stay neutral. You're going to have your opinions, but try to stay neutral in it. Support them instead of talk about them. Hope for the best. Pray for the best for them, because especially when there are children involved, no matter what has happened with those two, you want them to figure it out for the well-being for those kids and the well-being of those two individuals, especially as Christians. Kim, what advice could you give?
All of you said really, really sound advice. My advice is, um, time heals all wounds, and just in my experience, I just kind of sat back and let them choose,
Yeah.
because it's very hurtful to go through divorce and losing, and you know, and just you're going through something within yourself in itself. So
Mhm.
sometimes you can't even really focus on
Right.
other things. So it is best to sit back and just, Tina, patience, understand that time will work things out, and just pray that it works out. And it is, it's difficult or different, as we all have children. When you focus on the children and how it makes them feel, for me, I wanted to make sure that my children felt comfortable and wanted them to have some sense of normalcy. So I did not ever want them to feel that they cannot have both grandparents at a dinner party or graduation party, whatever it may be, even though for me, I took the, whatever the feelings and emotions that I had, I took that, and
Mhm.
I allowed my children to still feel some type of normalcy, and that it is okay. And they watched me, and their father as well, show forgiveness, and that we can unite, because we are still parents. We're still, their family, and they didn't ask for it.
Right.
um, the friends, the family, the children, they don't ask for this. This is something between the two of us that we put out, that we decided to do. And it is hurtful, you grieve in different ways. And some people do choose, and some people show their loyalty to the other person. And again, that's fine. Um, but for me, I just sat back and watched. And I still tried to make sure that I provided the normalcy for my children.
Right. Well, that's good advice. All of it's been great advice. All right. So, word of the day comes from Psalms 121, 1 verses 1 and 2. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. All right. That's Psalms 121, verses 1 and 2. So, my word to you, if you're facing a crisis today, there is help to see you through. But who you look to and where you look for that help makes all the difference in the world. If you're looking to self to handle all concerns and seeking opinions from friends, you may be dealing with your situation a little bit longer than you prefer, because self and friends are limited in their solutions. Although they mean well, they are limited in their solutions. But if you're looking for a solid solution, there is only one who's able to take all of your concerns away. Therefore, don't look down or around, look up to the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. The Lord is the creator of all things, and there's nothing impossible for him regarding your circumstances or concerns. So lift your eyes up, because your help always, always, always comes from the Lord. Blessings and love. Thank you guys for tuning in to Life, Love, Marriage, Divorce Conversations. We'll see you next time.